So that was my.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see, so. Ready? Yeah. You all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. D'Angiano.
Here.
Mr. Rogan.
Here.
Ms. Smith.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams.
Here. Can I get a motion on the reports?
Make a motion to approve and accept the code enforcement compliant for December of 2022, code enforcement for December 2022, bill control officer for December 2022, and the ECI for December 2022. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a motion on the supervisor's reports.
I'll make a motion to approve the November 2022 supervisor's report in the amount of $9,195,104.40. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion. We approve the public hearing minutes for the Patterson Fire Department contract of December 28th, 2022. The public hearing minutes for the Putnam Lake Fire Department contract, December 28th, 2022. The public hearing on chapter 150 of local laws I-3 for vehicle and traffic, December 28th, 2022. The town board organizational meeting minutes from December 28th, 2022. And the town board meeting minutes from December 14th and 28th of 2022. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion? Audit of the bills.
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve abstract number 24 dated December 30th, 2022 in the amount of $138,068.84. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have a couple of budget transfers.
Sure. The first budget transfer request number 46 is necessary to reallocate funds to the engineer contractual for approved charges. We're taking $1,500 from the 410 account town council, and then we are moving it to the 400 engineer contractual. I'll make a motion to approve budget transfer request number 46. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second budget transfer request number 47 is necessary to reallocate funds for the highways machinery contractual for necessary repairs to the Great All. We'll be taking money from the 800 account state retirement, $5,400, and moving it to the 400 DA 5130-400 account machinery contractual, $5,400. I'll make a motion to approve budget transfer request number 47. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly.
Who's that?
All right. First up, town boards received a request from the assessor to appoint the clerk that works in the assessor's office as a part-time data collector. We got this on the agenda for discussion, see what the board wants to do with it. In the past, we have had a full-time assessor with a full-time data collector and then a full-time clerk within the department. Currently, we do not have a data collector. Donna has been filling in, but is finding it increasingly difficult and would like to appoint our current clerk in the office as a part-time data collector. There would be no change to the budget. There would be no change in salary. And and I admire the initiative of our new employee who actually went out, got certified, took the test, came in very high on the exam, and then took the civil service test and came in very high. So, you know, I find that very impressive. But who's kind of sprung on me is we're springing it on you. I think there is a need for a data collector. And I'd like to throw it out to the board for discussion, what you would like to do.
You said it's not so much the work. I was curious about. Is there any? You may have said this. I apologize if you did. We didn't budget for this. Is there? You said it's not a change in salary. Is it a change in the hours? Because is there any?
It is not. There's no
So
impact.
it's not fiscally impact. Okay. Okay. I mean, I think it's great. Obviously, we want to promote people taking on additional responsibilities from within. It'll open up opportunities for this person in the future. So, I mean, I think it's great. When I found out a little bit about what a data collector does, it sounds horrible. So it's great that this person likes this kind of work. Kind of like our folks in
Yes.
fiscal, who I also find that work to sound, it seems horrible, but they like doing it. So, but obviously, the assessor explained that there is a need for this type of work. And we cannot have, it's not a good idea to have any one person having all the knowledge and not being able to cross-train. It's not good succession planning. I mean, we have people in that office that hopefully someday will retire and move on. And I think it's great to be able to cover those bases. So, I mean, I'm supportive of it. It's a good idea.
Just a few questions. So, she's currently working for us as full-time, which is 35 hours
Yes.
a week. Okay, I often see her in that office, so she's already spending,
Half her time in that office, half her time in the county.
okay, so which is part-time and part-time.
Well, it's a full-time position split between two departments.
Okay, so we're not adding, she's still going to be a full-time employee with the same hours, the same pay rate.
Correct.
Is her title changing?
Yes, because she would be a part-time data collector and a part-time clerk.
Okay,
So the data collector would be added, but we've confirmed with Putnam County personnel that it is acceptable to do that.
okay. So, so we're not going to hear in the next month, somebody's going to come and say, well, now you took her over there and now I'm missing someone over here.
No.
Okay,
Good question.
well then,
Just thinking the same thing.
I'm in favor of it because
Yeah.
nothing's changing except for her title.
I don't know a little bit of the work.
Mhm.
Peter?
I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Okay, then I'd like to introduce the resolution to hire a part-time property data collector, Quinn Irving, and ask that the resolution be entered into the record as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi,
All right. Second on my agenda is amendments to chapter 142. These are something the state has just authorized recently, which it amends the law to allow us to amend our codes so that the income levels for exemptions for our senior citizens and our people with disability are changing. So again, I would like to enter this resolution, move this resolution and ask that it be entered into the record as though read, introducing local law number I-1 and providing for a public hearing. That public hearing will be held on January 25th, 2023. Got it?
Second.
All in favor?
Public. hearing.
Aye.
Wait for you. Thank you.
All right, Mary.
I'm up. Okay. First item is a justice court request attached as an estimate from Healy Electrical Service relative to the electrical work needed for the justice court. They're requesting that this be put on the following agenda to install 420 volt outlets on a single dedicated circuit from a circuit panel, install all wiring and wire molds coming down from the drop ceiling, install 2 data ports near 2 of the outlets using wire mold. The total cost is $2,900 for the work. I just want to make sure that we don't have another bid. So I'll make a motion to approve 2,000, not to exceed more than $2,900 for Healy Electric Service to provide the outlets at the Justice Court. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so this is in reference to that. So we took care of that. Okay. Next item is, there was only one, right?
No, there were 2.
Oh, there was.
So
two.
the next, yeah, this is the next item.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought that's what the outlet was for. Okay, so they'd like to add 2 Ethernet connections along with 4 electrical outlets in the very near future.
Nope, I
I was
apologize.
right.
This is not
Okay.
correct. All right, so I apologize. I didn't get a chance to check the agenda.
I think that
The one.
The IT assistants possibly?
Yes,
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
IT portion of it.
Okay. So do they have a,
oh, yes.
who they're using for that?
So, in the past, well, as you know, A1 Computing provides IT support for this building and rec center in
Mhm.
highway from time to time. But what they like to do is they like to install a special program on our computers so that they can remote in. It saves travel time and makes their response quicker.
Mhm.
They tried to do that years ago in court, and the Office of Court Administration was not very friendly to that idea and actually barred them from working in the court. New judges, new attitude, and they've reached out to the Office of Court Administration to see if they could once again use A1 Computing as everybody else does. The issue is that they are not going to let A1 Computing install any
Mhm.
software on their computers so they can do any work remotely, which means A1 will have to come up here. There will be a charge for travel time.
Mhm.
There'll be, the charge for being on site, and responses may be a little bit slower. Which means the additional cost, which is why it's before the board. Because we're gonna have to, if the board agrees to allow A1 Computing to do the IT work, and it's probably gonna be with anybody.
Yeah.
We say is, gonna be the IT consultant, that there's gonna be an additional charge for travel time and such.
Don't have much choice.
Do we know what the other courts are doing?
No. Not specifically. I would assume they all have their own IT consultant.
Yeah,
For the longest time, Office of Court Administration was providing that function for them.
okay,
but-
that was my next question. I was
they're-
gonna ask if they recommended someone, because obviously they don't want, them doing it because it could compromise the, the records and whatever's data is being held there. And then I'm sure that they have companies, the OCA, to recommend that to do this work, so they probably know that are either bonded, secured, or whatever. Okay,
So this is like basic IT stuff. If they need something with their computer, it's not the programs.
They're not the IT people aren't troubleshooting the state system,
Right.
right?
mhm,
It's, yeah,
Yeah, so this all came about because they needed to move a computer from one location into the judge's chambers. And they brought Amy back to move the computer after she'd left. Because nobody over there knew how to move the computer from one spot to another. And so we incurred a charge for Amy after she was no longer an employee. And they put her in for the time that she was here. So at that point, I said, can't do that, got to figure out what you're gonna do, and this is what they came back with.
so, where is the IT technician, for travel?
Bounty buck,
Oh, okay, so does he charge by the mile?
no, he charges time.
So it's, what is it, a 15-minute trip,
Yeah, maybe.
30-minute with traffic?
For me, 3.5.
Yeah, well,
Well,
depends on what
travel,
time. Okay, so am I making a motion to approve the IT assistance from time to time from
A1 Computing.
from A1
Service.
Computing to service the court office when needed?
Yes.
second.
All in favor?
I,
All right.
And the next item is, I'm happy to say, a resolution for the renewal of agreement with the Patterson Fire Department. Town of Patterson desires to renew its agreement with the Patterson Fire Department for the provision of fire protection services in Patterson Fire Protection Code number 1 during the 2023 calendar year, and in consideration of the payment of the department. And is consistent with the terms of the annexed agreements. I'll make a motion to approve this resolution for renewal of agreement with the Patterson Fire Department and enter it into the record as though read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Nope, keep going.
One
Oh,
fire department.
oh, yeah. For some reason, I thought we did that last time. Also, again, delighted to enter the resolution for the renewal of agreement with the Putnam Lake Fire Department for the calendar year of 2023. like to enter this resolution into the record as though read for the renewal and agreement with the Putnam Lake Fire Department for the calendar year of 2023. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Peter?
First item I have here, a memo from Bobby Kearns, our EMS supervisor, and a resignation letter from one of the employees. So we have a resignation letter from Louis Rodriguez. So he's resigning his position as an EMT with the town of Patterson as of 12/31/22. So make a motion to accept his resignation. Just to add, he accepted a full-time offer as a career firefighter for the city of Burlington, North Carolina. So good luck, Louis. Good luck with your career. And thank you for your service with our town. So they can make a motion to reluctantly accept his resignation. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item I have, I'm a little confused. I have a resolution for an amendment to the Patterson Town Code, Chapter 154, entitled zoning. And it has, it says a public hearing was held on January 11th, which is today. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Didn't we have a public hearing scheduled for today?
So we just didn't do it at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, there was I brought the notice. I was gonna ask afterwards if this didn't come up, because I thought it was supposed to be tonight as well. You're right.
So why don't let's slow down and do the public hearing. So it just missed.
The
it getting-
notice was sent.
So the notice was put in the papers?
Yeah.
Okay, and I could tell you it was noticed to the other towns in Putnam County because we received notice back that there is no issue. So at this point, why don't we open the public hearing? Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. Used.
Public notice is hereby given that there has been introduced before the town board of the town of Patterson, New York on December 14, 2022, an amendment to Patterson Town Code, Chapter 154 entitled zoning, which amendment will amend section 154-15 fences, stone walls, and masonry walls, section 154-81 architectural standards, and section 154-130 issuance of certificates. Now therefore, pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law, the town board of the town of Patterson, New York will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid amendment at the town offices, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on January 11th, 2023 at 7:00 PM in the evening of that day, or as soon thereafter as may be held, at which time all persons interested therein shall be heard. The town board will make every effort to assure that the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and or reasonable accommodation should contact the town clerk.
I would ask that anybody here in the audience, if they have any questions or comments concerning this local law and the amendments to the zoning code, if you would approach the mic, give your name and address for the record, and ask your question or comment. Hearing none, we'll turn it over to our audience joining us by Zoom. If there's any member of the audience who has any questions about this local law or the proposed zoning amendments, if you would just unmute, give your name and address for the record, ask your question. All right, hearing none, so I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving back to the agenda, anybody have any questions on this, or you got any?
We spoke about it when we originally brought it up, so I have no.
Peter, what would you like to do?
Okay, so with that, that said, no other comments on it. I'd like to present this resolution to for local law number 1 for the amendment to the zoning changes presented in the public hearing. I'd like to enter this resolution as read. Enter this resolution into the record as read.
Second.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
That is all I have.
John?
Okay, next item we have is in reference to a critical improvement that we've been planning and talking about for many years in Patterson, and that is the extension of a public water supply to Front Street. That is the Dorset Hollow Water District. So we put out an RFP for professional engineering services for the design of that project. This is a really important project. And we got back a very detailed and comprehensive report from Insight Engineering, detailing all of the different aspects from the evaluation, the surveying, mapping. Some of the costs associated would be incurred if we needed, like for instance, if they determined we needed an additional well, there's a cost in there for that was put in, but if it's not determined to be needed, obviously that cost would come out. That was a $14,000 cost. So we have the proposal. Rich, you've reviewed it. It looks like it's a great proposal. And I would like to make a motion to authorize the town supervisor to enter into an agreement to hire Insight Engineering to perform these services. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. So for full disclosure, I will not be voting on this due to a conflict of interest, being as my son is a partner with Insight Engineering. So I want you all to be aware of that.
Sure.
You can do a roll call if you'd like.
Sure. Let me just say though, I'm glad you said that, but Insight Engineering is a huge company. And your son is listed on the documents, but the people that, there's many people that'll be working on this project. And so I think if it were the Richard Williams Engineering Company made up of one, I think it would be a bigger issue, but this Insight is a premier company that we have tremendous success with. And most importantly, not only they do the work, but they do it on time. And that's what we find. They just performed work for the sewer main connection down here at the mobile station, and the project would not have happened so quickly if it were not for them. So I have full confidence in the firm. Feel very, very comfortable with
If
that.
I could add to that, my son is listed in the proposal they submitted in acknowledgement of the fact that there is a conflict and he's not allowed to work in this area.
Yeah, there you go. So. Feel very.
So he's
comfortable.
not involved in this project at all?
At all.
You're
Yeah.
just recusing yourself because of the relationship.
Absolutely.
Great.
Want to do a roll call or?
Okay, Ms. Gideon,
Yes.
Mr. Hogan.
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Next item that I have is an approval for Patterson Fire Department for a new member. We have Fire Department number 1 has accepted a member of the department, Abigail Weisnecker. So I'd like to move that we approve the resolution and enter it into the record as though read. So moved.
My second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Other business? Town board member have any other business they wish to bring up at this time? Sure. So one of the questions that came up, and I'm going to turn this over to you a little bit, is at the organizational meeting. Apparently it was not clear when we appointed the town attorney that we appointed not Hogan and Rossi, but Hogan, Rossi, and Ligori. Do you remember advising the board that night that the firm name had changed?
I don't remember advising the board that night. I know that Don sent a letter. I don't know if he put any kind of, yes, I didn't say anything that night.
All right, then.
It's still relatively new and it slips our minds as
All right.
well.
All right, that being said, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Hogan, Rossi, and Ligori as town attorney for 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are you looking at me?
Tell you later. No particular reason. All right, the only other thing, does anybody else have any other business? All right, the only other thing is I'd like you to indulge me for a little bit after the meeting. I'd like to add an executive session to the agenda to talk about legal in regards to the Dorset Hollow Water Supply Extension. All right, with that, I will open it up to public recognition. Is any member of the board, the public here tonight wish to address the board? George?
Easy, George, easy.
He's anxious to get to the mic.
George Gisbert, representing, Patterson Library. I can talk a lot about all the different programs we conduct this year. I would like to say that if anyone, it's very easy to access our website, and then everything is listed there and how to go about registering. But also say if you just want to call the library and ask to be put on their constant contact list, and you receive an email every month about any new programs. I'm just going to list a couple of adult programs we have coming up, a couple of children's and teens programs, and then at the end, I'm going to give you a little teaser for March, but I'm not going to talk about. We have a program coming up, a historian Andy Campanaro, Industries of Putnam County. It's part of the Putnam Library History Series, and that's going to be January 18th tonight at 7 p.m. And just in time for Valentine's Day, on Saturday the 4th at 1 p.m., it's making chocolates. Who doesn't like chocolates? So that's going to be a program. February 9th, there's a movie matinee. Ticket to Paradise. It's a movie that's been out with Julia Roberts and George Clooney. I have to have seen it already, and it's well worth the view. Keep you entertained. It's very nice. There's a matinee that's coming up. Got a double header. We have on Friday, the 25th of February at 7 p.m. we have an adult trivia night, which is also going to be coupled with our kids' night out, so parents can come with their kids and drop them off at the library while they're doing the adult trivia. We'll have supervision for the kids, and they'll be doing games and prizes and things like that. We're having a teen cooking program with Chef Dave, who does a Cooking with Chef Dave podcast on Friday, February 10th at 4:30. And one that made interest Mr. D'Andriano, we have CPR for teens on Saturday, February 18th at 10 a.m. Those are just some of the things that we're doing.
I heard there's gonna be some great instruction.
Pardon?
You'll be a great instructor teaching that.
Really? I assume you do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh.
The name wasn't included in the program. Hopefully at the next time we're doing, my partner on the government outreach program is, from Rolo, who you all know, will be coming in. She may talk to you about, a couple of programs in March, our adult, 8th and 6th program, which is being sponsored by our friend group. And also we have a program in March called Back in the Bronx. And it's from 1940s to 1960s, a retrospective of the Bronx. So I'll let her discuss that. It's a little bit too far away to bring it up now. But I do encourage everybody to look at anyone listening or watching, to go to the website. There's lots of programs. There's pathway programs, police programs, adult programs, and they go all from the morning all the way to thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
George.
All right, at this time, I'll open it up to anybody who is joining us by Zoom. If you would care to unmute and make your comments or ask your question to the town board after you give your name and address. None? All right. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
One mic.
Fun. Yeah, a little comic rhythm to your pitch, huh?
No, no.
I'm gonna be here. Wait a minute. Don't careful. He needs to partner for a while. They
No,
just
she's going.
decided to change the name. You just said
No,
that.
she doesn't.
Right. Then it's a bank. Okay, I'll just do that.
The machine's gone. Big snow. And it needs. Yeah, the capable of things. We highly make them like this. But it's 6 feet. I haven't done yet. I don't do it. My name is